February 2020 Planetary Transits for Virgo and Virgo Rising. This is an equal house chart set up for 0 degrees Virgo on the ascendant, Eastern Standard Time, New York. We begin February 1st, 2020, with 3 planets in Capricorn in the 5th house sector: Jupiter at 13 degrees, Saturn at 25 degrees, and Pluto at 23 degrees of Capricorn. The Sun is placed in the 6th house at 11 degrees of Aquarius, along with the planet Mercury at 26 degrees. In the 4th house, we have the planet Mars at 19 degrees of Sagittarius. Venus is placed at 22 degrees of Pisces in the 7th house sector, along with the planet Neptune at 17 degrees. Uranus is at 2 degrees of Taurus in the 9th house, in conjunction with the Moon, also at 2 degrees. On February 16th, the planet Mercury will turn retrograde at 12 degrees of Pisces, 53 minutes. Overview. February of 2020 is characterized by a predominance of planetary sextile aspects in space, specifically the 60-degree angle. This harmonious energy favors all levels of communication and relationships with those in your day-to-day environment. If you work to improve those relationships, new opportunities may be presented to you. On February 1st or 2nd, depending on your location, Venus sextile Pluto between houses 7 and 5 could bring the opportunity to heal any disharmony that has recently developed with a loved one. It can also bring a new romantic opportunity or intense feelings with a current lover. February 3rd brings a Venus sextile Saturn energy between houses 7 and 5, favoring business relationships having to do with creative or recreational pursuits. Opportunities to increase your clientele may be presented. Over the first 3 days of February, communication with partners and loved ones will be better than usual. Take advantage of it and smooth out any long-standing unresolved issues between you. On February 3rd, the planet Mercury moves into Pisces and the 7th house sector. Mercury sextile Uranus on February 5th between houses 7 and 9 favors international connections or those at a distance. You may be presented with new innovative solutions to current issues you may be having. On February 7th, Venus enters the sign of Aries and moves into the 8th house sector. February 9th brings the full moon, 2:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 20 degrees of Leo in opposition to the Sun at 20 degrees of Aquarius, spanning houses 12 and 6, highlighting health and work issues. You may be feeling worn out and need to withdraw, rest, and recharge. If any conflict arises on February 8th or 9th concerning these issues, the trine from Mars will alleviate the tension, making this an easier full moon to navigate than usual. On February 16th, Mars enters Capricorn and moves into the 5th house sector. Also, the planet Mercury turns retrograde at 12 degrees of Pisces, 53 minutes in the 7th house. On February 18th at 11:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Sun enters Pisces and moves into the 7th house. Jupiter makes a sextile aspect to Neptune on February 20th between houses 5 and 7. This is a spiritual and idealistic influence that can motivate you to help others who are less fortunate. On another level, this energy could bring a relationship opportunity with someone you meet during a night out with friends. The combination of Jupiter and Neptune translates into a new relationship being a dream come true. Another manifestation of this beneficial vibration is to draw into your life a spiritual teacher who helps to expand your understanding. Mars trine Uranus on February 21st between houses 5 and 9 is a high energy vibration, excellent for taking a break from the usual routine and doing something different to keep life interesting and alive. With the ninth house of travel and the fifth house of romance stimulated, taking a pleasure trip with a loved one is favored, as well as recreational pursuits. February 23rd brings the new moon at 4 degrees of Pisces, 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the 7th house, highlighting partnerships, both personal and business. This new moon makes a sextile aspect to Mars in the 5th and Uranus in the ninth, bringing opportunities for an increase in clientele through creative advertising. Reach out over the next 4 weeks for what you want to see happen in these life areas. Also on February 23rd, under Venus squared Jupiter between houses 8 and 5, favoring an intimate tryst with a loved one. On another level, Jupiter's tendency to go overboard and be self-indulgent could see you overspending or overeating and then regretting it later. With a little restraint, this energy can bring an emotional healing and a sense of renewal, as well as an optimistic frame of mind and a day of feeling good with loved ones. Sun sextile Mars will be in effect on February 24th between houses 7 and 5. This planetary combination bestows an energetic drive and gives you the ability to get a great deal of work done. It also brings the opportunity to make a favorable impression on others, either in your personal life or for business purposes. On another level, the 7th house of partners and the 5th house of love favors expressing your feelings to someone you care about. February 25th brings Mercury conjunct the Sun in the 7th house. Perfect for getting through a backlog of paperwork, phone calls, and emails. This energy stimulates your ability to learn and comprehend. Excellent for those engaged in writing and studying. On another level, having a meeting with a partner, ironing out differences, and coming to an agreement is also favored. Under Venus square Pluto on February 28th, between houses 8 and 5, avoid power struggles with loved ones. They may present you with changes that you have no desire to accommodate, or vice versa. Flexibility is required today in all your relationships.